Let's start what is abstract method and abstract class. So abstract is the keyword available in Java, and we can declare method as an abstract. So when we declare any method as abstract, that means we don't have any implementation for that method, only declaration is available. And when we declare any method as abstract in a class, at that time automatically that class becomes an abstract. So what is meaning of abstract or abstraction? Where we are hiding the implementation, basically it is known as abstraction. So implementation is not known in a superclass, and we must provide the implementation in a subclass. At that time we basically define the abstract methods. So abstract method and abstract class are related concepts. That means it is a dependency. So when we declare method as abstract, by default class is abstract. So that's why next point is the abstract class, and we have to explicitly declare at that time class as abstract. Otherwise compiler will give you error if any abstract method is available inside the class, and if your class is not declared as abstract, at that time compiler gives you error. So what is abstract class? Abstract class is a class that is declared abstract. It may or may not include the abstract method. That means a class you can declare as abstract. It may contain an abstract method or may not contain abstract method. But vice versa is not possible. That means if a single method is available inside the class as abstract, at that time your class must declare with abstract. But if your class is declared as abstract, and if within a class if there is no single method available as abstract method, then there is no problem. Compiler will work it will not show any type of error. Okay. But if the class contains at least single abstract method, at that time class must declare abstract. So we have to remember this rule. Vice versa is not possible. Abstract classes cannot be instantiated, but they can be subclassed. What is the meaning of this? If any class is declared as abstract, at that time you cannot create an object of that class. Okay, but you can create a reference variable of that class. That means just a type of variable, not an instance. So that specifically in which case we create a reference for the variable. Always just try to recall the concept of upcasting, where we are creating a reference of superclass and storing the object of subclass. It is upcasting. And in inheritance, so in that case we can declare super type of entity as an abstract. Okay, so in that case the abstract class will only allow you to create the reference variable. It will not allow you to create the instance variable. Now the question is, why the abstract class doesn't allow you to create the instance? Because abstract class may or may not contain the abstract methods. Yes, suppose abstract class contains the abstract methods, but abstract methods means what? Abstract method means there is no any implementation available for you. So if we create an object of such a class, and if you try to call the method of abstract, so at that time which method gets called? There is a problem, right? Compiler will not create a method copy or the definition for that method. There is no definition available for that method. So how we can give a call to such a method, right? And that's why for abstract classes you cannot create an instance. And most of the time this question is asked for the interview. Why we cannot create an object of abstract class? Straightforward. In abstract class it may contain abstract methods, and if the abstract methods are available, at that time we cannot give a call to those abstract methods using that instance, and that's why it gives you the error. Okay, that's why basically Java compiler protects you. Don't create object of abstract class. Okay, and this overall the process is known as abstraction. So abstraction is the one of the major pillar of the object oriented concept. And abstraction means you are hiding the implementation and showing only the functionality to the user. That means you are providing certain rules for the programmer. You have to just implement it. So this is known as abstraction. Using abstract class, the partial abstraction you can achieve into the Java, and full abstraction, 100% abstraction you can achieve using the interfaces. So that is the next point we will see later. So look, one example is available here. Here abstract class animal, and here one method is available, abstract void it. Now there is no any body available for this method it. It is curly bracket, no curly brackets. It's a just declaration, it's a semi-comma, and this method is declared as abstract. And when this method is declared as abstract, that means this class becomes automatically abstract, and you have to add it abstract keyword here, otherwise it gives you error. Okay, now this within this example, just look here, class dog extends the animal. So in this case, your animal is the abstract class, and the rule when you implement abstract class, in that case in inheritance, in a subclass you have to implement the methods which is declared as abstract inside the superclass. That means within a dog class, this method implementation must be available. It should be available, otherwise compiler will give you error. Or if you don't want to provide the implementation of it method here, then you can make this class also as abstract. But at certain level you have to define the concrete class, and you have to create an object, and then you have to use the functionality of the class, and that's why you have to override it. Now just go with the logical concept why it is declared as abstract. Now in a class animal method it declared as abstract, but why? Now this is the question. Because abstract class and abstract method, we have certain rules, compiler will check their rules, it is okay, but why logically we use this? This is important. Look here, it is the behavior of animal, no doubt, but can we define the procedure or the behavior of the it method inside the animal class? Because the behavior of the it method is depends on the type of animal. That's why in animal class, the it method you cannot specifically mention. That means you cannot implement this it method inside the animal class. Okay, so here is the problem. But it is the behavior of the animal, and if any animal is available in the world, so that animal can eat, right? So this is the rule set for the animal. And now look at dog is animal. Yes, dog is animal. Now dog can eat. Okay, now dog, the behavior of eating the food for the dog is a specific one. That's why here suppose one statement is written, dog eating a bread. Okay, so dog eating a bread, it is a common behavior, and it is specific behavior for the dog. But this dog eating a bread is not a behavior for all animals. That's why here no implementation is possible, but this implementation is possible for the dog. Suppose I create a class cat. Class cat extends animal. So here also it is applicable to that cat class. Okay, and here I can write this SOP statement, cat eating XYZ, right? So this implementation is only possible in subclasses. This implementation is not possible in a superclasses. At that time we declare those methods as a abstract. And here what is benefit to declare method as abstract? When you define the dog class, it is compulsory to override the it method. That means this rule you have to follow into the dog. Then and then only dog is animal. Otherwise, your dog is not belongs to the animal category, right? So this method overriding is compulsory here when the method is abstract. Okay. And now look here, the testing animal class is declared. Public static void main dog d is equal to new dog d dot e2. Now which it method gets called? Now just concentrate on the object new dog. This is your object. Object dot it. Object is for the dog. Method gets called from the dog class. That is this it. Now can I do like this? Animal d is equal to new dog. Animal d is equal to new dog. The reference is for superclass. Object is for the subclass. It is upcasting. And d dot it. So compile time it jumps to here, but there is no implementation. And at runtime it decides. It jumps to here, but it is abstract. So call is transferred to the object of the class. Now object is for the dog, and this it method gets called. So it is upcasting. It is a runtime polymorphism. Yes, it is a runtime polymorphism. At a runtime call is displayed. Now are you getting? So this is the first example. Now look the second example. Graphics object, rectangle, line, Bezier curve, and the circle. Now rectangle is a graphics object. Yes, Line is a graphics object? Yes. Bezier is a graphics object? Yes. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So rectangle is a graphics object, line is a graphics object, Bezier is your graphics object, circle is also graphics object. So all childs, and this is your superclass, these are the subclasses. Now look at, before to go abstract, just look the class implementation. Private integer xy, two coordinates are there. Suppose it is a 2D object. It is a 2D, yes, line, rectangle, Bezier, circle, all are 2D objects. Void move to an integer new x, integer new y. Now void move to depends on the x and y coordinates is applicable, and this implementation is possible for any graphics objects. Correct? Yes or no? It is possible because x and y coordinates if you have, you can move the object, and this is applicable to any graphics object. That's why this implementation is available here. Because of that, the curly bracket start, curly bracket in, whatever implementation logic is available, you can write here. But look here, void draw and void resize. The draw functionality for general graphics object is not applicable. Why? That means draw functionality is specific to the object type, because the procedure to draw the object is different for rectangle, it is different for line, it is different for Bezier curve, it is different for circle. Similarly, resize the object is also different procedure for rectangle, it is different procedure for line, different procedure for Bezier and for the circle. And that's why draw and resize, these behaviors directly not applicable to the graphics object. It belongs to the graphics object, but unless and until if you don't know the name of graphics object, specific graphics object, you cannot draw, you cannot write the procedure, you cannot implement it. Yes, and that's why it is declared as abstract. Now what is the rule when any method declared as abstract inside the class? Your class becomes abstract, and that's why this class declared as abstract. Now you have to create the class rectangle extends graphics object. Yes, and then you have to provide the implementation to these two methods, draw and resize. Now draw, it depends on the length and breadth, you can draw the rectangle. Resize, again you can increase the length or breadth, you can write a logic, depends on whatever you want. For the line also same thing, for Bezier also same thing, circle also you have to implement it. And move to is available here, and this method you can just call using the rectangle object, because move to implementation is available, and this method gets inherited into the rectangle, line, Bezier and circle also. And that's why this method gets called, and xy coordinates are available. You have to just provide xy coordinates, and according to that your object can move it. Okay, so why this class is declared as abstract, do you know? Yes, can you just guess it, why it is declared as abstract? Yes, because for a graphics object, move to, draw, resize are the behaviors, but draw and resize is the specific behavior for the specific graphics object. It is, you cannot write the procedure for draw and resize for any graphics object without knowing the name of graphics object. But these behaviors are applicable to any graphics object, and that's why you are applying the rule for all graphics object. You have to implement it, draw, resize these behaviors to the rectangle, line and Bezier and circle, and you have to provide the specific procedure for that, and then you call the methods. And that's why these methods are declared as abstract, and if the method is declared as abstract, your class becomes abstract. Okay, so now I hope you cleared about this, or any doubt regarding abstract method and abstract class.